Hey YouTube, close engage here, coming at you with yet another handgun review. Here with me I have a Springfield 1911 mil-spec. First off, always say check this gun. This gun is clear. This is actually my own handgun. I figured I would throw out a review on it, as it is a 1911. It's always a great handgun. So I'm going to start my review off just like I usually do. Start off with the niche this gun will fill for you. For me, this was, this is, for me personally, this is not a concealed carry gun. For some people it might be. Getting cross-tongued. This for me is a range gun. It is a put on my holster, strapped to my belt, go hunting. Not with this gun, but as a backup gun. I may go four-wheel riding if I'm working outside. Somewhere that I don't mind having a little extra heft on my waist. That's, for me, that's the case with most full-size 1911s. Now, they make Springfield has the EMPs that have a 3-inch barrel. Well, this is a full-size 1911, and it is a big gun. But it's also a 45 APC. Sometimes you need that big gun to tame that 45 round. Speaking of big guns, how big is it? According to Springfield, I'm pretty sure this comes in around 38 ounces. It's pretty good size. It's unloaded, of course. Might be off a little bit on this one because this one is wearing a Wilson Combat 8-round mag. I'll get to that later. So 38 ounces. You could say it's gonna be your concealed carry gun, but my guess is you're gonna start leaving it at home more than you carry it. Because it's just so big. It's not big, it's thin, but it's just so heavy. It's the full 5-inch barrel. Before you walk out the door, you're gonna think, maybe I don't need it today. It's just awful hard to carry. I'll just leave it at home. Well, that's completely defeats the point of having your concealed carry permit. So like I said, weight, it's a little on the heavy side, but so are all 1911s. There's nothing wrong with that. Ergonomics, 1911. Ergonomics are great. Just like on all 1911s. Slide release, safety, mag release. As far as grip angle, it's 1911. It just points well. That's why this gun has been around since 1911. It's popular. People like it. There's so many different makers of it, I can't even get into it. But there's a reason the gun's been around that long. It's because it just feels right in your hand. This one actually has on some Hogue grips, which for me takes it to a whole other level. This makes the gun just feel like a glove. It's got those deep finger grooves. I have on the large side of hands, so it just gets in there, and this gun just feels like a glove in my hand. It's a great shooting gun. So again, ergonomics are great. Just like on all 1911s. Accuracy. Well, accuracy is going to depend on what kind of 1911 you get. If you're willing to spend $2 to $4 grand on a Wilson Combat, they're going to guarantee you 1-inch groups 25 yards. I'm sorry, the Springfield mil-spec is probably not going to get that for you. It'll do good groups. But again, it's just a mil-spec, has just planes. It doesn't have the, thank God, it doesn't have the just regular battle sights, which barely stick up out of the gun. It does actually have some fairly good sights on it. But again, it's this would be a entry level. This would be considered an entry level 1911. It's the mil-spec. You can wiggle the slide just a little bit. That's it's like with the Wilson Combat or a Para-Ordnance. One of those guns that's going to cost you a lot. The slide to frame finish is going to be excellent. And that's going to improve your accuracy tremendously. I've heard of guys that have tried to put their slides in a vise and bend them. Yes, bend them in the vise to try to get the fit better. And if you don't do it exactly right, you're going to be buying you a new handgun. Because that's just silly. So, accuracy, with this one, it's most 1911s. I don't want to say how big the group is. It's just going to depend on you. I'm sure the thing put out 2.5-inch groups, 25 yards. I can't do it, but I'm sure a lot of you can. Firepower. Again, it's a 1911. traditionally means 7 rounds, which compared to some of our guns today, is pretty weak. So this one has the Wilson Combat 8-round magazine. Anybody who has 1911, I would recommend getting the Wilson Combat mags. They're wonderful. They hold 8 rounds. They're just a great magazine. I've had everything. I'll tell you what I won't recommend. I know not the Dish Cabela's. There's some good stuff, but I bought some of their cheaper mags. It wasn't Cabela's brand. I can't. Maybe Triple K junk. I bought them a couple years ago, and they're all in the garbage can now. You know, you drop them once, they're done. I think Wilson Combat guarantees this maybe for life. I could be wrong. I don't want to say for sure, but it's about $35. It's an expensive magazine, but you get plus one, and it's just a great magazine. For some reason, this gun only came with one magazine when I bought it. I'm not sure why that was. That magazine, it did all right, but it did nothing compared to the Wilson Combat. Like I said, you get 8 rounds out of that, plus one in the tube. With most stock magazines, you're going to get 7, but you're packing 7 of these big monster 45 shells in with a single stack mag. That's the best you're going to get. But some guys like that. I feel perfectly safe carrying this with 8 rounds. Because it's just a great shooting gun, and hopefully it would be a one hit and done for whatever reason you might need it for, because at 45 is a huge round. Value. This gun would be on the entry level 1911s. Not really entry level for Springfield. You might be able to get you can get a Charles Daly or a Taurus or something like that, maybe a little cheaper. I'm not going to say. I'll say this was between $500 $700. Just because that's probably the range you're going to find with it. Which is a great. That's. If you want to get into the 1911 market, that's great, because I can take this gun and either sell it or trade it, throw in a few more hundred, and get a Kimber perhaps, which are great 1911 makers. I would recommend anyone looking into those. They're excellent. Durability. It's 1911. It doesn't have the probably doesn't have the durability as something like a Glock, but I've said it before. There's a reason these guns have been around so long. Our troops carried them from World War I up until the 80s, I believe, until it was replaced by the Beretta M9 9mm. So, not really happy with that, but it's what NATO wanted, so that's what we did. But let me go back to the niche of this gun. I'm getting really bad about skipping over things. But if you choose to get a 1911, maybe not particularly this one, maybe one with a 3-inch barrel, like the Springfield EMP, and you decide to carry that gun, what you're going to have to do is carry it just like it looks like here, with the hammer back, safety on, condition 1 carry with one in the chamber. Because if you don't trust yourself to do that, it's going to be hard to pull a 3-inch 1911 out and fumble around with cocking the hammer when somebody's threatening you or your family, or for whatever reason that you need to draw your gun in a hurry. The battery of arms in this gun is fairly complex. For somebody who has never shot before, your hand has to be in here to engage this beaver tail safety. You have to remember under stress to sweep off that that safety, or you're going to be sitting there, nothing's going to happen. So it's not like a Glock or a SIG where you just pull it out and bam, bam, bam. You have to pull it out. You're going to have to remember to disengage that safety. And like I said, firstly, you're trying to be comfortable carrying in condition 1 with the hammer back with one in the tube. That's how you carry 1911. And I guess that's going to wrap up this review of the Springfield mil-spec 1911.